What's going on, folks? This is Coach Marcus Pro Fan Talk, and we are another day closer to the Super Bowl. Getting ready for the Eagles to take on the Chiefs. They'll probably travel sometime early next week. So this week is usually a normal week of practice. You keep everything the same, and that's the thing you want to try to do as normal as possible for as long as possible, if it even is possible. But one of the things I'm talking about today is everybody's been pulling up receipts, typically about Jalen Hurts. People flipped and said I was wrong. Other people doubled down. And if you don't like them, you don't like them. But you can't argue with the results. That's the bottom line of it. So your opinion is your opinion. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody got one. Leave it like that. One of the things and one of the people that I like to listen to is Mina Kimes. And I pulled up some receipts from 4 years ago when Jalen Hurts was first drafted by the Eagles. And there was a lot of turmoil about that because Carson Wentz, he was still here. You didn't know what that was going to look like. And everybody was actually kind of worried about Carson Wentz's state of mind with the Eagles pick of Jalen Hurts in the second round. So I just wanted to bring this up. This was Mina Kimes' comment right after the Eagles had drafted Jalen Hurts. So check this out.
This will not endear me to Eagles fans who are very angry on the internet right now, but the more I think about the Hurts move, the more I like it, and it's in large part because I think they really like Jalen Hurts. I don't think they're BSing when they compare him to Russell and Lamar, not to say that he's a comparable player, but that he brings a lot of value to this team. Obviously, as a backup, and they know the value of backups more than other teams. I think he brings more upside than a cheap veteran or a later round draft pick. I think they can use him in interesting ways, as you alluded to, Dan. The Taysom Hill thing, potentially in high leverage situations, in short yardage at the goal line. He brings a lot of value there. And also as an investment. I think they believe he is a good player who they can develop and then potentially flip.
Now, we'll stop it right there, man. And just the way things worked out with Carson Wentz. In my opinion, Carson Wentz was never right after that Jadeveon Clowney hit to the back of the head. And he just couldn't get back into the groove like he had before. Jalen Hurts steps in, plays pretty well, and he plays well enough. He didn't light the world on fire, but he did play well enough to say, well, let's see what he's got with a whole year of starting. And we went to the playoffs. Then we go to the Super Bowl. Then we have what was last year, not so much on the offense, but on the defense. But he was up and down. And then, of course, this year, his passing play has been up and down. But at the end of the day, he's still clocking wins. He's doing what he's got to do to put the team in position to win. And we rattled off probably one of the best winning streaks in NFL history. But at the end of the day, all of that is a moot point because we made it to the Super Bowl. We're not worried about streaks and stuff like that. The only thing that matters now is the game this week. I like to see when other people kind of double down on their opinion, or in the situation with Mina Kimes, you go all the way back from the beginning. What were your thoughts on the beginning? And did you switch up? Did you join the bandwagon? Because let's be honest, that's what a lot of these people on these media shows and these morning shows are doing. They just flip-flopping on the bandwagon. You saw what happened with Chris Canty.
No, I don't have Jalen Hurts as a top 10 quarterback.
He was hurt last year.
Yeah, that's great. That's all good. All well and good. I don't have Jalen Hurts as a top 10 quarterback.
Okay,
here's
fair.
my list, Molly. I got Patrick Mahomes, which understood and got to be said.
Fair.
Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, C.J. Stroud, Justin Herbert.
Wait. So, okay, yeah, C.J.
Stroud. Trevor Lawrence, Dak Prescott, Jordan Love, and Brock Purdy. I had Jalen Hurts as a top 10 quarterback coming into this season. I'm just now looking back at my notes.
You also had him outside the top 10 at one point.
No, I had him as a top 10 quarterback coming into the season. I'm sitting here looking at my notes.
Yeah, there's clips online from First Take and this show of you saying, I don't have Jalen Hurts in the top 10.
That was funny, and I'm somebody that loves Chris Canty. I love that unsportsmanlike show. But he was dead wrong. And he didn't want to admit it. And I thought it was odd that they never came back to see if he admitted his mistake or if they showed him the footage or anything like that. I just thought that was interesting. And again, I'm a fan of Chris Canty, and I love him on that show, and I love that show. But he's not the only one that were 8 ways of wrong and just don't want to admit it. They want to stick to their original opinion because this is the way it has to be. And it's like, you're seeing for yourself that it doesn't have to be a certain way. Jalen Hurts has told you he's not for stats. He's going to do it the way it needs to be done. Not even necessarily the way he wants to do it, but he's going to do it the way the team needs it to be done at any particular moment. Now, has he had his troubles and stuff like that during the season? Absolutely. He's had the weak passing games. He's been up and down with it. But the benefit is we know we've seen him at his high before throwing the ball, not just running the ball, throwing the ball. We've seen him at his high and we've seen him at his low. So my thing is, if I've seen him do it once, he can do it again. And everybody else seems to forget that unless it pertains to other quarterbacks, unless it pertains to Trevor Lawrence, unless it pertains to Josh Allen, unless it pertains to insert quarterback here, Justin Herbert, Matthew Stafford, Kirk Cousins. Everybody gets the opportunities and their leash is long, except when it comes to Jalen Hurts. Everybody wants to bring up what he can't do, but win. And then the fact that he does still win, it becomes a side note. It becomes an anecdote. Saying all that to say, I just thought it was interesting to go back to some people's comments and pull receipts from the very beginning. And Mina Kimes has been somebody who at least kept it a buck from the rip. There's a lot of people that thought what she thought and had that same opinion, that he was just insurance if something with Carson Wentz didn't work out right. And that's exactly what happened. And he turned out to be, Jalen Hurts, better than anyone ever expected. Go Birds.